in the top left-hand side, our blue Terran player from Storm Gaming. This is GuMiho. And he's taking on, in the bottom right, our red Protoss player from Team NV, but not really from Team NV anymore. I don't know if he is or not. It is Creatoe! Excuse me. Well, guys, the Title Leaker is a map that has been played one of the least times in the tournament so far. I'm excited to see it here, first map of this best of 5 TvP, especially because TvP is the matchup I feel like we've seen a lot of people taking this space with as well. So it's been kind of cool in that regard. I think coming into the final day, my thoughts on Title Leaker are, I kind of like this base. I kind of feel like it works decently. I just don't know if it adds enough for it to have been as, for it to be worth kind of making the ladder almost, So, yeah. So that's, yeah, that's kind of my kind of opinion on the map. Like, I don't know if this base is interesting enough to make the rest of the map good enough to make ladder or so. That's just kind of my feeling. I feel like it's, been kind of decent, though. Wardy, random question. What would make you more money? 1,000 subs but nobody watches, or 1,000 views but no one subs? I have actually no idea. Depends how nice Twitch wants to be with the ad revenue, right? 1,000 viewers at all times. If I average like 1,000 viewers, it's a bit less than what I have now. Based on very recently, I think it would be the viewers. Because based on the ad rates Twitch are giving us recently, I think viewers over the subs. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It kind of really depends on the ad rate. The problem is, here's the thing, right? Subscriptions are consistent, but the ad revenue is variable, right? That would make a big difference as well, right? Because some months the ad revenue might suck. So maybe the subs are better because the consistency is nicer. Perhaps. Maybe. I don't know. It's a very, very, very interesting question. That's a bit too much of an in-depth question for me to start the day. Too much thinking. I'm trying to do something math in my head and all of this. Reaper is going to hop up. I think, as a streamer, I would prefer to have... Ooh. Would I prefer to have 1,000 subs or 1,000 viewers? Actually, I was going to say, as a streamer, I was going to prefer to have 1,000... Like, outside of the monetary point, I guess viewers, right? Because, but I mean, if you have 1,000 subs, do you not assume the subs are viewers? No, then I guess I want 1,000 viewers, because it feels bad when you feel like you're not streaming to anybody, right? Then what's the point, almost? The interaction is very nice. I guess 1,000 viewers, if I was just doing it as a streamer. Couple of Adepts, couple of Marines. I'm just going to be having a little bit of harassment here early from Creatoe as he puts some pressure on in these early stages and is going hunting for some kills. He's going to end up shading out. His opening is a blink opening here. We'll see if that develops into much over time. As otherwise, we're just going to be seeing a robo facility starting, and yeah, I mean, an extra gateway as well. Ooh, I don't have health bars on, guys. Give me a second. There we go. So yeah, just gonna go 2-gate blink and probably take a third base fairly quickly, which I'd imagine comes in over here. He's making no attempts towards this base over here for now, so I guess that's something else to keep in mind. Hey, thank you so much to the Gyron for your 19-month resub. Welcome back. Much appreciated. Wardy, what's your favorite map from the TLMC map pool so far? I actually really don't know if I have a favorite. I have one that I have a couple that I feel like are the prettiest. I feel like it's very hard to pick out a favorite. There are a lot of very good, solid maps in this map pool. Picking out a specific favorite is actually very tough. Yeah, there's been a lot of great maps and there's very few maps which really, I feel like there's almost like 2 tiers of map in this event. Ones which are like good but not quite good enough that I'd like to see them on ladder, and then a set of maps which are like great and I'd love to see them on ladder. And there's then no real in between all of those maps, I feel like that's just one of those competitions right now where it's just very close cut across the board. I know that's a very boring answer, but yeah, I don't really have it. Hope we don't have 2 mirror matchups in the semis. Well, if we have that, at least we will have a non-mirror matchup grand final, right, guys? And it's not going to just be 20 minutes, 4 quick games. Did you ask... Okay, I've got a question. Did you ask anybody else about the 1,000 viewers versus 1,000 subs thing? Because I wonder what other people said. I mean, there's a lot of variance on that as well, just because obviously some people have 70-30 split. Some people don't run as many ads, right? That's the thing, if you have 1,000 viewers and they're obligated to watch no matter what, you could just go ridiculous with ads, right? And then just run, like, more ads than ever before, and they never leave. So then it seems even better, I think.
Game
pause here from GuMiho as, motherfuckers moving as just... Ooh, okay, toilet. Yeah, I'm one of these moments where when someone pauses out of nowhere, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like, is there a problem with the map? It's okay, guys. We can. I think this is one of the times we can actually put the poo emoji into the observer chat. Escalated quickly. Kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah, it happens, guys. I get it, you know. I've had a cast or two sometimes where I'm like halfway through and Castle was like, guys, be right back. Just something's come up quick. Boom, just run away. I'll be right back with you. One streamer told me they would make more money if people didn't sub and just watched ads. Yeah, I think honestly, like right now, ad revenue is to the point where it's hard, like I say, it's hard to say exactly, but it's hard to say exactly, but I do think it's one of those things which yeah, I think nowadays the ad revenue is actually like the way they're paying us with ads right now, like viewers are actually more important than subs almost. Because also, like, at least on my stream, like, it depends on the scale of your stream, right? Because if you have... Because, like, my streams always had more views than subs anyways, as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, right? It's an interesting question. I reckon for someone on a 50-50 split and 1,000 viewers, depending how much they stream as well, right? That's another thing, right? Depends how much you stream, depends on how many ads you get to run in a month as well, right? Maybe then 1,000 views is good because you stream as much as you want and you can scale your pay, whereas 1,000 subs, you're capped no matter what. Alright guys, we're just waiting for GuMiho to return. Obviously a little bit of a few moments, just chilling and waiting. As GuMiho has come back, players are ready. And let's resume. Alright, back on track guys. As yeah, this medevac was just about to start moving, although we haven't seen anything come of it just yet. And yeah, okay, we'll keep our eyes on it. I just want to say thank you very much to the 5 gifted subs from Zerg EL going out to Zero Tricks, Prep Go-Go Man, Boy Scout BP82, Roro Dirklord, and Sendfrad86. Yeah, I was actually going to say something interesting about subs and stuff a bit later on as well, because I'm going to change the way that we do subs. At least for next month, we're going to do something a bit different with subs and how they support tournaments, etc. So we'll talk about that, like I say, in just a little bit, but this actually kind of really ties into the question that you just asked in the first place. Alright. Observer just gets shot down by the Raven, so Raven is going to be playing its part already here as a hallucination heads back to the top left side to keep an eye on things, keep a look at just what exactly is going on here early. You get past our little poop pause, and yeah, I mean, 1-1 upgrade, stim, combat shields, armory, all on the way out here at the moment from GuMiho. Just a very passive standard game, right? I mean, you're talking about a handful of early game units going down, nothing that's really going to dictate what happens in the mid game at all. And yeah, I mean, just a very comfortable, very happy going game so far. I like it a lot. Seems like a good position for the moment as units continue to gather up between the natural and third. So we do see GuMiho opting for this space. Again, it's hard to attack into this base as the Protoss player, so that's definitely one of the strong points about it. It's going to become a very hard-to-break 3-base position. I don't love the common cluster shells building at the front there as our tanks were just a moment too late to siege, otherwise this would have been a much easier defense. You could have argued it would have been worth the Matrix here, because if you Matrix one of those Colossus, you would have been able to stop that tank from dying, perhaps, and if that tank didn't die, one extra tank would have been quite neat as well. That also would have been something that we could have maybe talked about here, as our bio forces will begin to move forward and just start to threaten against the Colossi and the other units that are just sitting on the ramp. That's another observer, which is nice. The Raven's still making use of itself, and of course, full energy. Double Matrix right now really just nullifies the main damage output of this army, although charge finishing makes life a bit more difficult. Plan to see the Prism come into play as well will complicate things too, so just Creatoe making a couple of moves, and let's see what he does over here. He could blink over this ramp. Oh, the Widow Mines across the map just did mega damage. 15 probes go down, so just as things were looking pretty good for Creatoe over here, he does take a lot of probe damage, and now is almost needing more damage to even be okay. We matrix the Colossi, so this is the moment GuMiho decides to not lock those down, but the blink out is available, so I'm not sure if that really was the best moment. I can understand the stress, though, because obviously he is dealing with this Prism in the main base at the same time, and he's losing a lot more SCVs, so Creatoe is getting a lot of good damage dealt. And despite what feels like a pretty safe setup here, Creatoe is finding good ways to deal damage. I would say, I think one of the things I've mentioned on this map previously this week is that it does feel like quite a walk between that natural and third. It's quite that, it's quite a stretch, so the tanks don't have like one good place to sit to kind of cover both locations or to move a little bit. And I think that's what's really affecting GuMiho right now, as Creatoe only on 47 probes, man. So GuMiho still has a worker lead. He is fine coming out of this as long as he doesn't die to this army. I believe he's got a Matrix right now as well, so if he wants to Matrix a Colossus, he absolutely can. And really should just save that for the larger fight. Take one of those splashing units out of the equation. That would go a long, long way to helping. Going to be seeing our units pulling back through the south. Then Creatoe decided to back away and just let this Prism do damage. A couple of Vikings would be a godsend right now. Can we just get rid of this Prism? It is causing GuMiho so many problems as he's going to drop straight across the map. I like this a lot. He's going to aim straight for that third base, and I don't think there's going to be much protecting this third base right now. I think it's in a bit too much trouble. Stim straight in. Can we just take it down? Instantly goes for the battery. The units are nearby. He goes for the battery, then the cannon. That means he isn't going to get the Nexus, but well, was this okay anyways? A few units left behind. Gets 6 probes. Obviously was looking for a lot more than that, right? That was definitely wanting to be something extra than what it actually was. So in that regard, a little bit of a shame. Prism and Azalti are going to continue down to the south, as they might have just glimpsed those medevacs. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I mean, Creatoe kind of knew they were escaping away, as he sits on 4 bases, still down on workers. Pretty good for a Terran to be up on workers, as GuMiho is stabilized. And obviously, he was up on workers before, but was always running workers around, trying to keep them alive. That was one of his big issues. He was not really able to keep the workers up and running, because there was zealots all over his base. Now that that's not the case, the economy will be feeling good for GuMiho. We'll see if he can turn that into something spectacular here in the next few moments, or if he's going to have a tough time of it still. Full Vikings on the way out. Marine Marauder still building, +3 attack as well. On the engineering base, just starting to go into that also. Again, a lot of setup for the moment. It's going to be seeing another missile turret coming to the front, a command center off over to the side, and Creatoe still just sitting on the front of a 4th base, protecting all 4 of these bases. What's interesting is now if he wants to take a backward base, he can do so in that kind of walled off base. So he actually has access to a very easy 5th compared to what he's already holding. He actually defends. He's going to take the 3 o'clock though, which is very interesting, because that base is on a low ground as well. Has high ground either side of it, so that'll be an intriguing one to hold. I'm not sure why he's so against taking the 6 o'clock. I actually think that base is nice, although maybe a little bit too drop-friendly for a Terran player, so maybe that's what he's being so cautious of here. There's got to be a reason that he's being as cautious as he is. There's got to be something to it. Levi units getting rid of a couple of Stalkers. Extra Warpins coming in. Zealots and Stalkers going to start up, and in we go. Going to start pushing at the front. Big stim from the bio units. The Zealots coming in from 2 angles. Disruptor shot plans to help get rid of one of the tanks. We'd love to see the tanks target firing. Maybe just the Colossi take that splash damage out of the equation straight away, but maybe wasn't needed. The Vikings putting in some good work, and GuMiho is going to win this fight. His 2-2 upgrades definitely helping him here, and as he chases forward, he might be able to get the Prism. Stop the Warpins would be incredible, and honestly, I'm surprised he didn't get rid of that Disruptor. He felt like he had the units to target it down, but I guess he just got caught up on other things. GuMiho wins the fight no matter what, though, and that's a really good trade for him. As now Creatoe, his army just doesn't look good, right? It's like 2 Colossus, an Immortal, a Disruptor, 2 Archons. It doesn't look great in the slightest, right? It's really kind of mismatched. There's not really a whole bunch of one thing. Now he loses this Observer as well, so loses tracking on the army of GuMiho. GuMiho, of course, fighting to give us a non-PvP semi-final today in the Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament. A few Stalkers here on the low ground still. Hanging around, Bio-units will stem forward, and Stalkers will just go blinking back. Fifth base. Trying to come up from GuMiho, being slowed down just slightly there, but nothing too problematic just yet. Plus, it's still chrono boosting out of the robotics facility as hallucination will be going down. And again, I mean, what a great game to start us off on today, guys. 5 base against 5 base. Titanic, one of the maps we hadn't seen so much of, and I don't think we've seen a game go quite this long on Titanic either. 4th Colossus is out, by the way, so Creatoe very heavy on the Colossus count. Not as many Vikings for GuMiho this time around, so maybe Colossi will be his bane in this upcoming battle. He's got a couple of libs not loving their position right now. It feels like they're going to be quite easy to take down, point proven. Losing those, it weakens this position a little bit. Again, just a few more Vikings would have been great. I feel like GuMiho was assuming probably not going to be seeing this many Colossi after he wiped them out in the previous fight, so he didn't really go back into Vikings. But yeah, he starts up a few more now, recognizing it's definitely a key portion of Creatoe's army. It's definitely something that Creatoe wants to continue to commit into. Bioforce still gathering up, just up on that high ground there. Again, Vikings, ship weapons, Marines, Cloak, all being added for the moment. So far, so good. Big stim to the right-hand side of the map, and is going to go pressing on in. Zealots are going to force a lift up on that command center, so that will be lifted out of here. Bioforce stemming up this ramp, and this is going to turn into a bit of a base trade. Who do we like more in the base trade? Well, it's a fantastic question. Creatoe has more army supply going in, which I feel like is nice. GuMiho has more resources to perhaps build around the map with. Yeah, they're both going to get on each other's production pretty quickly. I don't think there's going to be too many units. I guess GuMiho's going to lose a lot of units that are kind of stuck in the main base, which is unfortunate. So that's going to be his army supply maybe in even a bit more trouble here. Creatoe's already building cannons and batteries on the far right base. He's going to have quite the stronghold to try and hold on to. Drop an EMP off the Ghost will stem forward, but there's nothing really you can kill with these units. So like I say, GuMiho will lose a good chunk of supply for free and start lifting off his production structures, maybe get them elsewhere, maybe get them landed and back into action at some point would be a great possibility. Stalkers Colossi picking their way through a few racks. It's going to be seen that Bioforce coming out the right-hand side, rest of the Bio over on the left as well. We'll knock down a battery, we'll go for the cannon. He fire a disruptor shot over to the right side too, but doesn't really connect on anything, so not too impactful just yet. 66 SCVs dead, but does that really matter? As long as there's not really a mine base setup, I don't think it matters too much. I think what matters the most is the army supply. It is in Creatoe's favor as GuMiho, I don't feel like he's going to get set up anywhere to mine from or to rebuild an army at. And that's obviously going to be a little painful. It's going to be quite a frustration. Nexus did fall, and it's going to be seen the CC on the upper right-hand side. He's going to get blinked on as well. He's also going to get cleaned out here. All of the barracks making their way down to the south, actually, so this full retreat mode is Creatoe's starting to build up his additional Nexus to try and obviously make sure he doesn't run out of buildings here as well, so just trying to double down on that already. Now Medivacs will lift and relocate. We drop a Widow Mine here as well as we move forward with the Stalkers. And we start to knock down these rocks. GuMiho is going to try and take this position. He's supply blocked. He has a lot of money. If he can build depots, etc., he really could do with just rebuilding. As man, he does not have a way to really fight Colossi, but he does have EMPs, and EMPs will weaken this army a lot. Here's the Archons will go down quickly. The Disruptor Shot doesn't really connect here, so Creatoe ends up backing away. He's definitely afraid of the damage done by the EMPs. The Vikings might be able to get rid of a Colossus or so. More EMPs coming down. The Disruptor Shot right in the center, I believe, is going to kill GuMiho. Creatoe is going to win on the base trade. GG's. Creatoe is going to open the day with a 1-0 lead. My goodness, okay. Instead of a PvP, right? So if GuMiho could win out here, I'd be very happy, but we will see. It was an excellent first game, though. I mean, if he gives us a great TvP series to start the day, we can't really complain from there, can we? In the bottom left-hand side, the red Terran player is from Psystorm Gaming. It's GuMiho. Top right, our blue Protoss from Team Envy. It is Creatoe. Again, I don't even know if he's on Team NV anymore, if he's just representing them as like a club and more casual aspect, because obviously Team NV disbanded their official team. But he's got the clan tag on, so I just naturally say it when we go into games, so I apologize in advance for that. Probe is going to go venturing forward, just going to have Probe up in the main base, going to deliver some minerals. A gateway is about to finish here, and a cybernetics core building in the main base as well, so already getting that up and rolling. Lots of production early, nothing really too crazy to talk about super early, is there? It's very much so a very standard game for the moment. We'll see, obviously, the Marine opening instead of like a Reaper is obviously notable. Generally, because of this Marine opening, it means you've got a little bit of a faster factory, because you're obviously not building a Reaper. So your factory can come down a little bit more quickly, and that can obviously speed certain builds up. So some of the aggression you might go for example, could be sped up here. Let's say a few different things that could go your way. We have a Stargate on the way out. The choice from Creatoe being different to what we saw played on the last map already. So playing the Stargate this time around instead of the Blink and the Twilight. So yeah, nice to see him mixing it up. Obviously good to see some different openings in general. Make it a bit different as the series goes along. You don't want to make it too obvious or too simple for GuMiho. You don't want to make it something he can figure out with ease. So yeah, keep him on his toes. Keep him guessing. Keep GuMiho in a state of not quite being sure exactly what it is that's going on, as these first couple of Marines get very adventurous onto the map and kind of just die. Honestly, I'm not really sure what that's about from GuMiho. That feels kind of weird to me that he was just moved onto the map at all there. That seems kind of crazy, but such is life, as the starport will be finishing off over to the right-hand side, and that will be our proxy. So it's going to be a medevac, and we're just going to try and go for a nice quick Hellion drop into the main base. Now, there are pylons coming up around the edges from Creatoe, so you will have vision of the extremities of his base. So at least he should have a little bit of a quick response to seeing the Hellions coming in and being dropped by a medevac. At least you're not going to have them dropped in a corner, not be seen, and then you run into a ton of trouble, because that is one of the worst case scenarios that can come around. So at least that will be avoided here as our Hellions make their way up the right-hand side and are going to instantly jump into the medevac. And now make their way into the main base. So in we go. Hellions will come through. Couple probes going down pretty much immediately, and that's 3, 4. Nice first 4 worker kills, right? Not a bad start at all. There's one Hellion actually goes back around, see if it can pick up a final low HP kill. And we are not unloading over here, but the Phoenix will chase the medevac, so I'm not sure about not even trying to get any damage done. Loads the Hellions now. He does have boost, but he doesn't even bother using it. Just going to use the Hellions to try and get back in, but there's an Adept, so it isn't really happening. The Oracle actually used its energy to be able to kill off the... Sorry, excuse me. It actually used its... I've got freaking hiccups. It used its energy to kill off the Hellion that got dropped in. which is obviously nice because it means the Oracle then doesn't have energy to go across the map with. Don't mind me, just trying to get rid of some hiccups. Ay, ay, ay. Great timing. Well, it could be a little worse. At least we're not in the middle of a fight. Don't mind me, we'll just hiccup my way through the next couple moments. We do have our Cyclone getting a little lock on to those Adepts. Mortals on the way out, the Phoenix coming through, and a Colossus now starting to produce as well. As we have all of the tech coming in from Creatoe, so he is going to play a pretty steady Phoenix Colossus style, right? Something that's pretty standard. Obviously, gets to his third base, wants to make sure you can defend the third base on this shorter rush distance map. Meanwhile, GuMiho obviously wants his bio upgrades to be in play before he tries to make something of a play as well. It's going to be C9 units making their way across. So GuMiho will get a bit aggressive here, but will he be able to really do much with Phoenix and Colossus in play? Honestly, I would say it's very unlikely, but we'll wait and see. Oh my goodness. That just getting worse. It's incredible. I always thought, what's going to happen if I ever get hiccups during, like, an offline event cast? I look like a right fool, aren't I? At least here we can just laugh about it. The Wardy stream. It's not that serious, you know. Ay, ay, ay. Bio coming around with the medevacs then. Well, I cancel building up. Colossus on the way, +1 attack on the way. We will see our couple of extra refineries on the way in from GuMiho as well. So he's just going to go into Ghosts and keep the tech rolling out. Enhanced shockwaves currently being added on as well. So getting that EMP radius increase, make those EMPs as effective as possible. Especially good against Protoss players. Especially good. Several archives will build on the side of Creator as well, so just going to add a couple different routes of tech here as well available to him, so you'll have a couple of different choices. It's going to be seen if you buy units here, and you need to be careful. They're going to get force fielded into trouble if they're not careful. And just going to be pushed back straight away. So nice little defense there from Creator. Bit of a slow going game, I say, as I really am struggling, guys. I apologies. We're seeing the Phoenix actually going to just find a fight they can take, or at least they think they can. One Phoenix fell. Worth it for all the Marines now being able to chase the medevacs, probably. Can we finish a medevac off? Not quite. We'll land an EMP to take some of the energy off the Phoenix, but it won't fully remove it all. Hallucination shot down quite curtly there. As the male Oracle comes along, does drop the Revelation down as well. One more Revelation. Just keeping track of this army, obviously information on the opponent's army position is very important for Creator. Definitely something he needs to learn to work around as the robotics facility comes up from Creator as well. The gateways are all in production. Disruptors on the way too. And again, this was Phoenix Colossus to start. A few moles mixed in to really power the army and really kind of flesh it out. And now with Disruptors coming through, it becomes very scary. We're even adding the Dark Templar, so we can start to look towards some harassment options as well deeper in the game. GuMiho just blew up the rocks. Nice. Incredible. Some rocks have been killed. I'm glad you're excited about the rocks getting killed off. That's good to know. Opening up this pathway, right? Yeah. Cool. We open up this pathway, which, to be fair, at this point, we're kind of getting to a point in the game where having that pathway open to you will make a lot of sense. It's a good pathway up from your left side fourth base to the top of the map where a Protoss player might be taking a fifth. It's definitely the most likely fifth base option for the Protoss, so wants to make that difficult for them to take in the future. How is this Oracle alive? I feel like this Oracle's been hit so many times, it just continues to escape away. Push them into the main. Can we get rid of this in time? I don't think it dies before the warp in. But we will get rid of it after, but then there's DTs here as well, so we will need a scan. We've got tons of energy on this orbital. It's just a question of, are you paying attention? And the answer was no, not before too many units fell. Quite costly then for GuMiho, as he needs one more scan, and even then he'll actually have DT running over to the corner, so causing him quite a lot of problems at the moment. Not the greatest of moments, but and try and continue dealing with it. At least now he knows about DTs as well, so he can get his prep against DTs set up elsewhere a lot more effectively. Triple scan to clean this out, and just again took a long time to properly clean out as well, though. So a real little problem for a few moments. Tyvan Inga's going to find himself 2 Immortals. The Colossus is low as well. Can we keep going forward? The Disruptor at least stopping a little bit of the momentum of this army. There goes the 5th base. The power of opening up that pathway as now GuMiho will continue to advance on through. Coming straight across, yeah, Vikings picking on that Colossus. Disruptor shot will land, killing off a Ghost already. Next Disruptor shot doesn't go down, it gets denied. Super Battery active, now denied as well. Next Disruptor gets killed, so will this one. Not a single Disruptor shot landed, and Creatoe in a ton of trouble as GuMiho runs into the natural. Now, will he end up in a bad position here, fully cornered? Can he make this work? This Robo will go down. It was producing the Disruptor. The other one was inactive. We've got Disruptors chasing down. We're trying to catch this Colossus. The one Viking might be able to make a play as we lift and leave. Or maybe just drop on top of the Colossi right now. I actually feel like would not be a bad play. He wants to make sure he can get out of here with the Medivacs, especially considering, I suppose, the Phoenix giving chase. Phoenix took a long time to show up there, but when they did show up, they were quite meaningful. And GuMiho loses a lot of extra units on the tail end of this because the Stalker's got 1 full Medivac. Now, the last couple of moments was actually really bad for GuMiho. Before then, it was pretty darn good. He's going to try and run up this ramp and just going to be seeing Creatoe full counterattack here. As did GuMiho really just lose too much in that one attack. It seems like it, he just can't recover. And this counterattack of Creatoe is going real deep and real hard. And is absolutely causing a lot of trouble. Man, it was so good initially for GuMiho. If he just got out more cleanly, it would have been a completely different scenario than what we ended up seeing, unfortunately. Unfortunate. Happens, doesn't it? GuMiho's going to go current counterattack again, as he's going to try and keep this game as interesting as possible. Mass Liberator here gets killed too quickly for it to really matter. Disruptor shot will clean up the Bioforces. And +3 attack upgrade, that will never come into play. I'm just going to be seeing our Liberator range continuing out as well, but will that ever come into play? Probably not. We will kill this first Disruptor. Stalker's just going to blink through. Creatoe maintaining about a 20 army supply lead all the way throughout this. And a lot of that supply of GuMiho dies as the main base gets broken down. GuMiho has the entirety of the main of Creatoe to kill off still, plus then going to other bases. I mean, the right side 3 o'clock base fully set up from Creatoe as well. And for the second time in this series, we do see a base trade. But I do think one that is not quite going to be... yeah. One that's not quite going to be going GuMiho's way. Last one was quite close. This one is just not close enough. Stalker's Colossi Disruptors back around the left side. Karaks are going to be in trouble. Missile turret getting knocked down. Our Planetary Fortress going to try and be repaired. A last-ditched effort, but there seems to be very little hope. Creator will take a 2-0 lead. Looking good to create a bit of a... I hope, in a way, in some selfish way, this isn't some epic comeback from GuMiho, so I don't have to upload this video to YouTube of me just having hiccups the entire freaking time. So that's the worst case scenario right now. I can't wait for the YouTube comments. Lazarus wastes for map number 3, guys. In the top right-hand corner from Team NV or not, it is Creator. In the bottom left, our red Terran player from Psystorm Gaming is GuMiho. I'm sorry, Wardy, you look so sad. Well, guys, the only thing we haven't tried to cure the hiccups is a big ol' sub-hype train, right? So, like, I guess that's the only thing we've got to try now. Hashtag hiccuping for subs. Hic-subs? Hic-subs? I don't know. Can you sell out with hiccups? Is that a thing? I'll try anything. It's the Twitch way, right? Not a real stream if you don't try and sell out in every way possible. It's working! Oh my god! Yo, thank you so much, May on Fire, and for the 5-month resub, and Arbrak 1 for the 15-month resub. I'll start. Nice. I mean, it's not worked yet, but I guess I see 1 hiccup equals 1 sub. I'd be a millionaire. Can you imagine? Have I tried whisper casting? To what? Get rid of the hiccups or to get more subs? You guys think I'd get more subs if I casted in whisper? Alright, guys. Got a probe. Scouting around. Having a good old time. Oh god, it doesn't work with the hiccups. It would have been creative. Do I know who picked this? This was Creator's map pick. Which is interesting because I feel like the bases aren't fun to take as a Protoss against a Terran on this map, right? Definitely seems a little bit interesting. Hey, what's up, Burner44? Thank you so much for the 9-month resub. Apparently a hype train is close, even though we only had 3 subs. Wow, gonna swindle Twitch here, are we? Alright, guys, this is it. The hiccups will officially disappear at the start of the hype train. That's what I've been told. My Twitch admin sub person has messaged me and said, okay, I don't know. I'm just trying to find things to talk about early game. You guys think it's because I keep talking that that you keep hiccuping if you keep talking? Do you think that's a thing? The Reaper just died. My well, look at the little Reaper jump up spot, which makes a little face, and the Reaper just dies. Like, don't mind me, guys. Don't mind me. Yeah. All right, Reaper going down's a little bit rough. A little bit sad. As Dark Shrine is going to be opening from Creator, so if you don't know about that, as GuMiho, obviously it's... Oh my god. My headset just fell off my head. Okay, today's cast is wonderful, isn't it? God. I'm so glad it's the first series of the day still, because, I mean, we are just having an absolute meh. I literally, I've casted for, like, a lot of years now. I don't think once has my headset fallen off my head. That is really something special. Okay, cool. Today's just going brilliantly. You still don't see the face? You don't see the face? Look, I'll show you. It's got little eyes. Right? It's got little eyes. And then it's really up to interpretation. This is like a nose and a happy face. Or you can even do like, this is its nose, and then this is his little fangs, like a little snake. And he's wearing a little hat on top. But there's really a lot of ways to see the little face. As long as you just take the little circles as eyes, I think you're good. And not just is there a face on the map, it's open to interpretation. You can make any sort of face you want. Now that takes skill. You telling me? You know, it takes skill just to make a... It takes skill to make a map with a face on. Now you're making a map with a face that's open to interpretation. My goodness, I don't think this has been seen in the history of StarCraft before. We've seen Widowmine's getting 2 probes, nothing too wild, as honestly they should be savable as well. GuMiho will lift up a couple. Raven is out, the prison getting pushed back initially by Marine, slowed down the initial DT warp into the starting defense here from GuMiho is very good. Cyclone locking onto that DT, and the DTs in general getting pushed away now as the Cyclone and the Raven will come and try and continue chasing. I mean, the detection's there. Where are the units? As we've lost 8 SCVs despite, honestly, what should have been very good defense for GuMiho. That's cute. Yeah, lovely auto turret. Pushing the Prism away so it can't really lift up and save the Archon. And then you get an Archon kill out of it. That's really nice. That's essentially the killing of the 2 DTs. So that actually goes a long way in the right direction for GuMiho. Okay, okay. Otherwise, just going to be seen now. GuMiho just realizing he can maybe counterattack. Yes, he took damage from the DTs, but he killed one of the Archons. Does that mean he has enough to push forward here? Marines that don't have Stim are the issue, right? If he had Stim, this would actually be a very one-sided fight. Without Stim, it's a little tougher. This choke point might actually work against Creatoe a little bit instead of just purely helping him out. Medivac's gonna load up. Oh, there goes the Prism. Nice little pick off as the Widowmine does manage to connect over there. So that's nice. Get rid of the Prism. Marines into the main base, and forward we go. Zealots warping in. A couple more Stalkers setting up. Zealots continue to take a fair bit of damage going after again. A couple more of those Stalkers wherever possible. Probe. So just Chrono boosting out. Raven on the way back down the bottom left-hand side. Marines, tanks join up together. The Cyclone as well. And this game will level out a little bit, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so distracted by that. I know I keep mentioning it. I'm so distracted by the hiccups. I'm casting freaking awfully. I really apologize. I can't believe it's still going on. Like, into, like, for, like, a second game now. What if they actually never go away? You're curious how this tournament interfaces with Blizzard to change the map pool? Does Blizzard specifically look to this tournament for new maps? The TLMC has pretty much been the only source of new maps for the last years upon years of map pool, unless a GSL map has made the map pool instead. So yes, this is the tournament to find new maps for the ladder. A little drop here from Creatoe trying to get some more damage done. GuMiho trailing on supply a bit. Come on, GuMiho! Let's fight back, buddy. Let's get back on track because I want to see a non-PvP. I don't want to do 2 PvPs in a row. And I don't want our first series of the day to be a 3-0 either, so let's go, GuMiho! Let's do it! Let's win! As he's gonna go across the map. He's listening to me, guys. He's like, I hear someone shouting, let's go, let's do it. That must mean I must need to attack right now. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, but hopefully he's not listening to me too hard. He's heading to the upper right-hand side. A couple of Zealots and a DT setting up as a Colossus lifts up, drops down. It's going to be seen Immortal starting to fire. Marauder's taking some damage. Is this enough from GuMiho? The Colossus not taking part in the fight there, and we lose 2 Immortals for a quick moment. Okay, GuMiho scanning back at home. He was dealing with a DT harass at the same time, so now being able to push that back, he retreats away just slightly. Pretty sick micro overall out of Creatoe. Didn't get caught up in any of the Raven abilities as well. So yeah, really slick stuff from Protoss. It was awkward the Crosseye not being in the fight for a while, but then better than being disabled the entire fight. Now GuMiho just backs away. He still has the Raven at least, so he can use it again further down the line, so that's a small bonus. Mine doesn't do too much as we just have Vikings on the way. GuMiho recognizing the need for an anti-Colossus army and also getting the Ghost Academy armory. All of his extra tech starting to come into play now as he sets up onto 3 bases. Surprised we don't see the gases on the 3rd base already, and he just drops them as I say that. So he's getting to the point where he just needs all of that gas to be able to afford all of the different tech routes he's starting to move into. Don't mind me, just doing anything I can to stop hiccuping, making weird sounds and all sorts. Let's do have our Bioforce coming over to the left, and this set of rocks is one of the many rocks on this map. If you guys didn't know that you got to kill these rocks to open up these bases, GuMiho will kill these rocks. Is he going to expand to the left of base 4? This is a 10 mineral patch base. So it absolutely is plausible to take that as a 4th and have access to extra minerals. That is something we have not seen in this event so far on this map. That'd be kind of cool. Like I said, that's just completely different to what we have seen so far in this event. Almost down to see things work a bit differently to what we've seen so far. But yeah, it kind of makes sense, right? It's a bit further out, a bit further drawn to the left side, but I don't hate it. Let's see if he actually commits to it or not, if he just wanted to kill those rocks off for target practice. I'm gonna grab the hallucination here. A couple more mortals still coming in. Getting rid of a probe in the center, and just going to be seeing this entire army of GuMiho advancing up to the north. Raven, still full of energy, by the way, is actually still going to be pretty meaningful in one of these fights, I feel like. The Raven has a lot of potentials. GuMiho's kind of got Creatoe's army split weirdly, but then he might end up being surrounded. He actually hits a good anti-armor missile on all the Colossi, and then he matrixes one of them. Can he fight here, though? It feels like, again, the Raven energy is used, but not really going to lead to much. It's kind of been a trait in this series in general for GuMiho, not just in this game, even. There we go, just going to be seeing an awkward fight position though for Creatoe. Look at the right-hand side army. He's got to come around a horrible choke to get here. The Colossi at least can fire over that. Doesn't seem to matter. GuMiho's army at the moment is kind of getting wiped, although he's bouncing back pretty strong. The last few moments have been great for him. Wow, GuMiho's supply was looking terrible there, but suddenly, really in the tail end of the fight, doing very well. A few Vikings. I would love to see if they would... I feel like they would have been able to kill that Colossus had they committed, and then there would have been no Colossus on the map. GuMiho has a couple of EMPs left. He has some Liberators building, and he's still just committing to this push position. He didn't take the 4th on the left side either, by the way. He took the 4th from the south base. Boo, boring! That's not what we wanted. This is really GuMiho. I want to say he's almost all in on this push right now in this position. No 3-3 upgrades, no intention to move into any further tech, it seems. Like, even his word count isn't insanely good. He's going to leave his tanks on their own over here. Vikings get rid of a Colossus, but... We'll just be seeing the army decide to turn around and fight. Lands the Vikings despite still having a Colossus to deal with, and it feels like GuMiho shouldn't do well here, but maybe he can make something happen. Going to turn around, siege the Liberator. Is this the moment where he's going to try and pick his fight? Oh my god, the Libs on siege. I feel like that was actually just going to be Creatoe moving up that moment no matter what. So he loses a Liberator. A little awkward. Oh, what a mind trick on the Prism and the Stalkers. So the Prism mines do not connect on anything. They don't get cleaned out, but at least they are used up. Is Creatoe now taking the right side base for his 5th base, so you're actually going to see some of these larger base is being taken here on Lazarus Waste. Something, again, which we've not seen too much of throughout the event so far. Knocking down a set of rocks in the center, opening up a little bit further, so pushing forwards here. And, well, GuMiho is going to go around the other side. Are we going to see another base trade? Yeah, we are. Well, we've seen a lot of base trades in this series. Every single game has ended in a base trade. And this is going to be another one. He has the advantage here. Army supplies are pretty similar. Wooden Mine's going off nicely. The MPs go down. These few units are obviously going to be in a lot of trouble. If they can stand and maybe get a bit of damage done, at least that would be nice. Just going to see our Nexus fallen, and the gate in the Robo facility will continue to be picked away at as Creatoe sits in this natural, another orbital being picked off. Into the main base we go, that entire army into the main to try and see what it can do. Just get rid of all of this production, as GuMiho's army supply is reasonable. He's on top of the production of his opponent as well. Yeah, don't say... Okay, the one thing I don't like is how low HP all of these units are. If you have enough medevacs, healing up should be possible. I like that he's already got a group of units looking around the map, by the way. If these probes get found... Oh my god, GuMiho. He was so close to running into all of the probes there. That would have obviously been amazing if he'd been able to get rid of all of those. Laundry Fortress will go down. Yeah, probe still on the map means Creatoe has a lot of rebuild potential. Already rebuilding one base over here. He has GuMiho a base himself. He's building triple starport. I wonder what he feels like he needs right now. Probably a way to kill the Colossi, right? Maybe just libs and you just play heavily defensively. Creatoe will end up taking 2 bases, so he's going to expand on the left side and in the triangle. What are we going to do with the starports? Nothing right now because he's supply blocked, but when he gets on the supply block, I maybe just liberate to try and hold down the one base he'll try and mine from. Probably makes decent sense as well. Wheelhammer will be able to land. Oh, just going to use it for some scans, so wants to identify what exactly Creatoe is playing with in this situation. Fair enough, fair enough. GuMiho's army supply is lacking. Is he really just going to go? Can't say I love this at the moment, honestly. He's setting up to just come in from 2 different angles in a big way, but we're not really convinced. He kind of stimmed on the bottom just there. Stims on the top. Killing some pylons. I feel like threatening is good, but what is your long-term real plan? I just don't know. There we go. We're going to start fighting. He hits any MP. Creatoe has this. There's no way. Creatoe has both sides of this fight. He was even playing safe, backing it up, using the disruptor. Completely unnecessary. We can see that. Obviously, Creatoe just wants to make sure. 3-0. Creatoe goes to the semi-finals today and will be taking